You know, I'm really passionate about making decisions that align with your faith and your values, especially when it comes to your family. And one area where that can feel really challenging right now is healthcare. Costs keep rising, and it's hard to feel confident that you're choosing the right path. That's why I wanted to share something I've been learning about called Liberty Health Share. It's not health insurance. It's a healthcare sharing ministry, which means you're joining a community of believers who come together to help carry one another's medical expenses. It's people living out the idea that we're stronger when we support each other and show up for one another. They offer programs for different stages of life and different budgets. So whether you're newly married, starting a family, or just looking for a better, more aligned approach, it's worth checking out. If you've been praying about a better way to navigate healthcare, this could be something to look into. You can learn more at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Liberty Health Share, a force for good.
Hello and welcome to The Morning 5. I'm your host, Michael Ware, President and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. Today is Wednesday, June 17th. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll start today with a passage from the 115th Psalm. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name give glory, for the sake of your steadfast love and your faithfulness. Why should the nations say, where is their God? Our God is in the heavens. He does all that he pleases. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of human hands. They have mouths but do not speak, eyes but do not see. They have ears but do not hear, noses but do not smell. They have hands but do not feel, feet but do not walk, and they do not make a sound in their throat. Those who make them become like them. So do all who trust in them. May God bless the reading of his word. Well, friends, I just want to remind you to start the show today that our annual summit for the good of the public is coming up this October 5th and 6th. We'll hear from world-class thinkers, policymakers, civic leaders, religious leaders who are advancing a positive vision of Christianity's role in public life and have a commitment to serving the public good. You can get your tickets at ccpubliclife.org/summit. It would be a joy for listeners of the Morning 5 to meet each other there at our summit this fall. All right, let's get into the news. First up, federal prosecutors have charged 5 people in connection with an alleged conspiracy to attack the UFC cage fighting match on the White House lawn, which occurred this past weekend on President Trump's birthday. The plot involved drones and firearms and several people across multiple states. The mother of one of the people accused of planning the attack learned of it and called police. The indictment alleges the group of people planned a mass shooting targeting the crowd. Thousands of people attended the event, which went as planned. Law enforcement searched the son of the mother who informed officials. Law enforcement searched her son's house in Ohio and found ammunition, cartridge casings, and tactical clothing. Next up, Pope Leo yesterday said he was relieved to hear of the United States peace agreement with Iran. The Pope had spoken out against the war and called for peace repeatedly. The Pope said yesterday, quote, "There will still be several points to settle, but it is always better to do so through dialogue, through negotiations, and not by returning to war. I hope that it truly is a solution to the war, that the war really is over, and that we can move forward." Last, for today's quick updates, the National Institutes of Health said this week that it will launch a new office intended to find ways to cut down on how often the government uses animals for scientific research testing. The office will be called the Office of Research, Innovation, Validation, and Application. The FDA likewise announced plans last year to try to reduce animal testing and safety trials. The director of the NIH said in a statement that, quote, complex computational models, 3D human tissue models, and other emerging technologies have improved by leaps and bounds in recent years and may hold the key to a more effective research enterprise. By strategically capitalizing on these tools and encouraging further innovation, NIH aims to steer biomedical research in this direction. Now, let's get into our main story. Congress seems to be getting close to an agreement to pass the most meaningful housing policy bill in quite some time, with a vote possible in the Senate as soon as this week. The House and Senate have gone back and forth in recent months on a bill intended to expand housing supply and to make it easier for Americans to own homes. Yesterday, the Senate Banking Committee released a negotiated version of that bill that might just be able to pass in the House as well as in the Senate, ultimately going to the President's desk to become law. Banking Committee Chairman Senator Tim Scott said the bill is, quote, the result of years of work to lower costs, expand housing supply, cut red tape, protect taxpayers, and help more Americans achieve the dream of homeownership. It's not often that Scott, a Republican, is enthusiastically working on legislation with progressive Senator Elizabeth Warren, but she also supports this package and helped negotiate this new version of the bill, according to Politico. A version of the housing bill passed the Senate with overwhelming support, 89 votes in favor of it in March. The House version also passed with resounding support, 396 affirmative votes in May. Both bills try to prevent private equity firms and investors from dominating the housing market by blocking corporate landlords from buying more than 350 houses. It also attempts to make it easier for people to build homes. The legislation tries to simplify and quicken an environmental review process for building homes in between other buildings. And according to NPR, it gets rid of a requirement that factory-built homes have to include a steel frame that allows the home to be transported even though many manufactured homes are never moved. NPR also points to a grant program within the bill that would encourage cities and towns to create pattern books of pre-approved housing designs, so building them wouldn't require as many approvals and paperwork. The legislation also includes grants for home repair programs. Senator Warren, who is the top Democrat on the Banking Committee, said the bill will address our nation's housing crisis by boosting housing supply, bringing down costs, and for the first time ever, stopping private equity from buying up homes. This bill, combining House and Senate priorities, would represent the biggest housing bill in more than 30 years. Let's get it done. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told reporters yesterday that he hopes to bring the legislation to the Senate floor this week. We'll stop there for today and go to the Lord together in prayer. Dear Father, always near us, may your name be treasured and loved. May your rule be completed in us. May your will be done here on earth in just the way it is done in heaven. Give us today the things we need today, and forgive us our sins and impositions on you, as we are forgiving all who in any way offend us. Please don't put us through trials, but deliver us from everything bad, because you are the one in charge, and you have all the power, and the glory too is all yours forever, which is just the way we want it. All right, friends, thank you for joining me today. As always, The Morning Five is brought to you in partnership with the That Sounds Fun Network, supported by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. If you'd like to learn more about our work at CCPL, you can visit ccpubliclife.org. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.